It's a busy day and there's traffic on the timeline. And if you are a car enthusiast, a petrol head, or you know nothing about cars, not to worry. Big boy Trev is here. He's in the building. It's Thursday. We've got throwbacks. And Trev, he's here. How are you?
Good to see you.
You know, I start off my weekend on a day like this. Thursdays are a mood.
Correct.
Even when I was in school, you know, back in the day as a kid, it was when you'd have double swimming. So you know mentally after lunch, you're starting off the weekend. So Friday is more like a physical appearance. But, you know, it starts on Thursday. And whenever you're here talking about cars, I know, we've done it. It's the end of the week. We've got great questions coming in for you. And only you can answer them. Of course, Big Boy Trev, you can follow on social media. Hashtag Car Culture KE. Hashtag Cars with Big Boy Trev. And of course, you've got a fantastic show on KTN Home.
Yes, I do.
And Wednesdays in Press.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, so the show as well as Cars with Big Boy Trev every Sunday 6:30 p.m. on KTN Home. It's the only motoring show that is, in national television, and we talk about all aspects of motoring, from car care and maintenance to road safety to the latest cars that are coming into the market, used cars, and then also give you tips on how to maintain your vehicle. So it's like a magazine of some sorts. That's a mix and match, and you're able to get at least something out of the show. But by extension, we also do the newspaper as well.
Right.
So every Wednesday, we also have a column on the Standard, and then Nairobian on Friday. And we also talk about what we've done on TV and just go a little bit deeper for those who love details.
Right.
So you probably find quite a number of things, some of the reviews I've done before, some of the tips that I give. And we are cognizant of the fact that we live in an era where times are changing. So we're also trying to match up with the changing times. So electric cars, like we mentioned the other day, autonomous driving, that kind of vibe is what we are giving the audiences. So, I'm really happy to do this.
Fantastic. I mean, when you talk about cars, your face lights up, and it's like whenever the questions come in, I look forward to Thursday. I am so excited about today's chat. And before we get into the topic of the day, I've seen a post we've put up on Spice FM KE, and it's all about which is the better brand. Mm-hmm. And I'm putting an underline on better because you're going to break it down, and then people can get to see maybe you might change your answer, because I've seen people already. Shout out to Jimmy Aries saying BMW anytime, anywhere. Akinyi is plugging in. I see another one here saying, Monique, it has to be the Mercedes-Benz. Today's conversation, which is the better brand, Mercedes-Benz versus the BMW?
Wow, it's an interesting one because both are extremely loved brands by many people. It's like a derby. It's like Manchester City and Manchester United, or Everton and Liverpool. It's a very close combination. They're all German brands, and each has their own unique selling points. So, for example, if you love Mercedes-Benz, it's synonymous with quality. Okay, it's luxury to the passenger. It's innovation. That is what the Mercedes brand talks about. If you're into BMW and you love sporty driving, then that's the car for you. They build the best chassis in the world. Very direct steering wheel. The car seat extremely low to give you that confidence you're driving. They have something called the Z axle, which allows the car to be planted, because most of the BMWs are rear wheel drive. So it gives you the confidence to push even on very sharp corners and things like that. And the legendary inline six, the sound of that inline six, from as way back as the E30, E36, that's the 3 Series, the 5 Series, the old boxy one that looked like a matchbox. That one. I'm telling you, the heritage about these brands has made people, get deeper and deeper and understand this knowledge. And I'm really happy because even right here in Kenya, we do have clubs of people who actually own these cars. So we have the Mercedes-Benz Club of Kenya, which actually has a very big number. They even took guys to, Germany to have a look at the Mercedes Museum, which I have been before, and I loved it. And there's also BMW Owners Club of Kenya. They also do drives, they do charity runs. All these guys are, embracing the brand. And I think that's the direction Kenya is taking. We are creating a car culture. And that is something that I do love, and I'll not stop speaking about it. So very exciting topic today.
Yeah.
So I just want to hear from the people. Which one do you reckon is the better brand for you and why?
Right.
Yes. So
And-
if you have any questions,
Exactly. Just shoot. Trev is here. And I love the way you were saying, I'm never going to stop talking about the car culture because it's growing and people know that it's more than just a status symbol. These two are going head to head and they seem to be, East Africa's favorites. I mean, since back in the day, it's Throwback Thursday. I think I've seen a couple of old Mercedes-Benz still on the roads, still surviving and still looking posh and clean and well-maintained. For you, before you even get on the timeline, because I'm seeing the tweets are coming in for Trev, which one would you say is a better brand? Because for me, I've always thought, when people say BMW, it's the sexier brand.
Yes.
It's the sexier brand. What about for Trev? Because, we always follow your lead, huh? We're listening to what you think is the best, right?
It's a matter of taste and preference.
Right.
Let me tell you, I am literally torn in between because of what I look for in a car.
Right.
All right. So there's some certain aspects I do love Mercedes-Benz. So if you say pick a model like the S-Class. Now the S-Class is the one that the president drives or is driven on.
Right.
It is synonymous with luxury. So in German, it's called Sonderklasse, meaning special class. And they've been building this for quite a number of years. And for Mercedes-Benz, that's their halo product. That is what they show the world, what Mercedes-Benz can do. And some of the key innovations that you probably find on an S-Class will probably be found on other models, other makes for the next 10 years. So basically, it's like a blueprint.
Right.
Let me give you a good example. The most overly engineered vehicle in the world till today is the boxy W140 S-Class, which is built 89, 90, right? Now, at that time, innovation was coming in, and Mercedes had built that W140 up to a level where they were satisfied that we have a product that will last for 10 years with the kind of technology.
Right.
Then Lexus came in with the LS in 89. And before they even launched that W140, the guy said, listen, we need more money to re-engineer the vehicle to meet the kind of quality that Lexus has put in their new car. So they went ham on the S-Class. You had soft touch closing doors in 1989.
Wow.
Double glazed windows to reduce noise in the car. Airmatic suspension. Yes, the Citroens had it, but not to the level of the S-Class. It had air purification systems that we started seeing right now in the early 2010s onwards.
Right.
So those key innovations that were coming in, variable valve timing, they came in at a time when everybody was in shock and awe. Even before the 140, they were the first ones to introduce ABS in 1978.
What's ABS?
ABS is anti-lock braking system. It prevents your wheels from locking during an emergency. So if your car is an old school car, probably doesn't have ABS. So if you see an obstacle and you want to stop, and you press the brake really hard, what happens is the wheels will lock. And you will move to the trajectory where the motion is.
Right.
So you'll be able to steer away from the obstacle. But ABS has a microcomputer that controls the braking into like release, stop, release at microseconds to allow you to steer. Because once the wheels lock, even if you turn, you'll just...
So this was a first back in the day.
Yes.
And these are some of the things that set these brands apart.
Correct.
And now it's the first time I'm hearing Trev torn between these two. Like, I've never heard you say that. So the fact that you're saying both of them, we can't really say there's one that upstages the other. It's really a matter of preference. I've got some comments before we get into traffic for you, Trev. This one by Herbert Alisi says, any day, anytime, BMW, that's my dream car. He's even put up a pic for us. Amen. Inshallah, you will get that car. Regan Owiti is saying BMW for once. This one is the car that just, it makes you feel a certain kind of way. Oh, I hear it's like when you meet the girl of your dreams. When you know, you just know. You don't even know why. Another one here from Tito. It says, Benz, quality speaks volumes. More comments are coming in. Today's question is on the timeline. And we've got another interesting topic right after your update. We're going to be getting into it. So get on the hashtag Spice Drive, SpiceFMKE, hashtag Car Culture KE. And don't forget, you can stream and watch the entire show. Trev has got some treats here, by the way. We'll tell you all about it. We want to talk about the 5 important items you need in your car. It's going to be a good one. Stand by.
Traffic.
Trev, how's the traffic today coming to the studio?
Hectic. Mombasa Road, as you know, is
It's
undergoing,
a
a
transformation.
makeover. Yes.
You know, we like to say here, Vumilia Maendeleo. And every day it looks different each time you pass. And I think it's for the betterment of the city. I mean, it's already transforming right before our eyes. So hang in there. We've got a playlist and we've got a good conversation with Big Boy Trev. Mercedes-Benz versus BMW. Which is the better brand? My question is, this one is from Olivia. Can't I have them all? Okay, good one. Anyway, Mombasa Road is looking tight. And just like Trev said, it is hectic. The sun is out. And if you're going towards Airtel, it's going to be tight for you. So brace yourself, be patient, be kind. I see another one here coming through from the city center, Huru Highway, looking busy. And Haile Selassie roundabout is also tight. Kiambu Road, something's going on there, but I'm not sure what that is. But it looks to be pretty normal. Moving on pretty well. A little red on Thika Road and Outer Ring Road looking busy, and I can see Rolf Bunch Road from State House Road is moving on well. Heavy traffic towards the CBD if you are coming from Langata. So far, so good. It's the Spice Drive.
Classic soul, R&B, smooth jazz, neo soul, and nostalgic ballads.
Make some noise. Yeah.
You're listening to Spice FM.
25 minutes to top of the hour, and Trev was saying that he is torn. Both of them are pretty good cars. German machines, the Mercedes-Benz versus the BMW. Which is the better brand? And Trev is in the building. Your handles?
Tristicks F1 and at CBBT_TV.
Right. Yes. Very nice. And there's no excuse. You can learn a thing or two online. You're on YouTube as well. You can catch on the previous shows that you've been doing. You've been doing awesome reviews. And you've been giving us pointers. You know those silly questions. You don't even know how to ask, your mech, or you don't know how to tweet, who to ask for advice when it comes to your vehicle. Well, Trev is in the building. Yes, you can follow, and you can get on the hashtag at CarCultureKE. Today's topic is all about the 5 things you need to have in your car.
Yes, very important, because we just assume you get in your car and drive off. But what happens if something happens, if you're in a situation where you need those vital stuff just to keep you moving or to keep you safe? So it's very important to identify these things. And I like saying, in your boot, there is space. So carry these necessary items to ensure that you remain safe while on the road, and you can sort out any encounter without any stress. And I think the first one would be the first aid box. I think it's really important. It should be by law that everybody should have a first aid box, because you just never know what's going to happen on the road. A first aid box, obviously, you do know it's got those emergency supplies, like a bandage, a tie wrap. You've got surgical spirit to sanitize a wound or anything like that. You do have splints. Sometimes you get those advanced first aid boxes that are available. You're able to do that, and you're able to literally prevent further injury to you. So it's really important to have this first aid box. You can get them anywhere. Even the roadside vendors do sell them, but I think you'd be advised to probably go to a supermarket and probably get yourself one that has all the basics, because you never know what you might, when you might need it.
Right.
The second one, which also many people do ignore, is a torch. Yes, a torch. I said a torch. A torch will help you at night. So just imagine you're driving down Bagathi Way and you get a flat and it's dark and the street lights are not working. What do? Are you going to just sit and call someone and say, hey, I'm stuck? Or get out and see what's happening? It's a risky area, but you need a torch. You need to see what's happening. So a torch will be very vital for you to see what's happening in case you have an emergency outside the road. So that's one thing you need to do, and always change your batteries after every 6 months if you don't even use it regularly, because sometimes it's dry cells that normally leak, and the time you need it, you find that it's dead. So always try and get that. Or you can even get the rechargeable ones that you can recharge using your car cigarette lighter, which is available. And these days, there's LED ones, which are really, really bright. And you can actually just charge it using your cigarette lighter slot, and you're able to use it quite effectively. Another thing, jumpers.
Ukona jumpers?
Yes.
Ukona jumpers?
Let me tell you, jumpers. Jumpers have saved many people's lives.
Tell me I know.
You know what happens? Because your car has battery. And the main work for the battery is to power other electrical stuff within your vehicle when the car is off. Okay? So when you switch on the car reverts from using the battery into using the power that's being generated by the alternator. The alternator is like a dynamo, basically. So it powers everything else minus the battery. So the main work of the battery is to start the car. Okay? Once the car starts, then the alternator powers everything else and charges the battery. So what happens after long use of a battery? It goes down. You've used your remote for your car or your even TV. After some time, batteries go down. And the first signs that your batteries are going down is when you start the car and you can feel like it's not kicking, like it has that slow.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then it's going to happen to you one day. What are you going to do? So you have somebody with a car to jumpstart you, but don't have the cables. So you need that. You need to have that. It's an accessory that is so important in the car, but yet we don't really care about it. Like, it's fine. Until it happens to you, you'll see the need for having that.
Yeah.
Another thing,
Yeah.
a tow rope. You might get in a situation where your car breaks down and it's not recoverable, or you don't have a flatbed, and you need somebody to tow you to safety. So having a tow rope is so important because at both ends of the tow rope, there are like hooks that tie in on the hooks that are placed on the chassis, either front and back. So if you're stuck, maybe your gearbox is broken, your drive shaft, you can't move the car, it's immobile. Then you use a tow rope. And then there's a technique for that. And it's always good to learn and see videos how to tow a vehicle to safety. So always have those things are very, very important because at the end of the day, it's about your safety. It's about getting yourself, safe in an area that is, you can be able to be rescued or anything like that. I think we have one more. Which is very, very important. A blanket.
A blankie?
Yes. Always carry a blanket. Now, a blanket has so many uses. Well, people think, I can cover myself when it's cold and I'm doing whatever outside. But sometimes when your car overheats and you need to open up the radiator, obviously the logical way is to let it cool down first and then open. So the blanket will always help you to, suck up the steam in case you need to open it like in a rush, which is not, recommended at any given time. But a blanket has so many uses in the car. Please carry one, even if it's a small one.
Yeah.
It will just help you go for the long mile. You never know what's going to happen, so you need that. And then also, I keep on forgetting a handy tool, like a toolbox.
Right.
Which has got number 10 spanners, pliers, a cutter, like a scissors and things like that. Also very important when you're trying to get that stuff and being safe while on the road.
Guys, I don't even know how many people have all these things in the car right now. If you're listening and you're driving around town, you're thinking, wow, I never think of having these things in the car. And people do sort of like a check, before you long distance travel. But this is day to day. These are essentials you must have in your car.
Correct.
Do you think that people take the whole thing seriously? Especially you got me when you made the first one, the first aid kit. Those are things people don't think about. So it's good, I think, to have them in the car at all times, not only when you are going somewhere and you're planning to go somewhere. I'm looking at some of the questions here and the reaction. Someone here is saying, the blanket and the first aid kit, last things on my mind. So check in, see what you have and what you don't have in your car. That's today's chat. And of course, we're asking you, which is the better brand, Mercedes-Benz or the BMW? And Big Boy Trev is here for the comments. And you don't leave empty-handed. You've got something special.
Yes, for our avid listeners who love Car Culture KE, I have some goodies courtesy of Cars with Big Boy Trev. So if you keep on engaging and tell us which of the two brands do you prefer and why, we'll pick the ones that are very creative, very real, and we'll definitely award one lady and one gentleman some goodies courtesy of Cars with Big Boy Trev.
Nice. A lady and a guy.
Yes.
Are you excited about Valentine's? No?
It's a date. But yeah, why not?
Just another day, another.
No, it's a Lovers' Day and red and things. I love red.
Red and things. The way you put it out there. So somebody tweeted me the other day and said, Monique, as some people are gearing up for Valentine's Day, some guys are gearing up for the men's conference, and I couldn't stop laughing. Women were, putting out a wish list, and some of them were talking about, I'd like a brand new car. How about I get something fancy, just an upgrade, perhaps, putting it out there for the gods to intervene.
Yes.
And in case you are wondering which car to gift this month, I'm sure you can also hit up Trev,
Of course.
at Trey6F1 on Twitter. I'm sure some people have got creative ideas, but Trev will sort you out. I don't want you to make a fool of yourself. This one here says, listening to the guru himself. Another one here says, it has to be Mercedes-Benz for me. Seems to be taking a lead over there. And Jonathan says, at Trey6F1, BMW spices things up, but my car is the Mercedes-Benz. Something about it. Even the old one will still do the job.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, Mercedes has that resonance with so many people because people have grown into the brand. And not to take away anything from BMW, because BMW, again, if you love the thrill, the power, there's a reason why it's called the ultimate driving machine. Because it is focused towards the driver enjoyment. That is a key thing. And like the DNA of a BMW, when you step inside, like driver's seat, the first thing you notice is how the dashboard is angled towards the driver. And the reason is they're trying to put everything visually closer to the driver so that they can be able to literally see what's happening within the car. So you can see the speedometer, the tachometer, you can control the air conditioning. This, you're able to do so much. It's like a cockpit of some sort. So there's something about BMW. Even the older ones still had that. BMWs, the way they arrange their front seats, the seats are lower. Like it's like you're sitting low, and this is a sporty setting so that you're able to feel connected with the car. All right, the steering wheel is amazing, no blind spots. You get inside, you start the car, and I can tell you, the whale, it's called the 6-cylinder whale, the BMW whale. If you've been in a 6-cylinder, 5 Series, 3 Series, even 7, even the X's, I'm telling you, it's amazing. You just feel like, wow, this is a BMW. I am driving a BMW. It's an amazing brand and a vehicle. Again, BMW also very good with individualizing a vehicle. Okay, so there's something called BMW Individual.
Yeah.
But basically, when you go and choose your car, you're able to choose a type of leather that you want, the type of wood grain, or if it's carbon fiber. They're really good with trying to give you that ability to, spec your car to your liking, which is very, very important. Again. BMW is also a social status, it's a symbol, just like Mercedes-Benz.
Right.
For those who feel like they have that alpha male thing,
Right.
and you want to make a point,
Yeah.
you're driving in a BMW.
Yeah.
But for those who love the finer things in life, then probably Mercedes-Benz.
We are still torn.
We're
I
not
mean,
shouting,
Trev, you still...
but you have a key with a 3-pointed star, and that's the whole point.
Right.
So there's different value propositions for both brands. So sporty driver, sportiness, performance, BMW. Luxury, comfort, aesthetics, build quality, Mercedes-Benz. And not that Mercedes-Benz doesn't have a sporty arm.
Right.
They do with the AMGs and everything. But BMW, in as far as creating that thrill for the driver, takes it all.
Ticks all the boxes.
Yes.
Mercedes-Benz versus BMW, which is the better brand? And of course, you can drop your answers on the comment section, Spice FM KE on every single platform. I'm going to be wrapping this up with one comment here. It's by Sally. Says, hi, Be My Wife is so good, especially during this Valentine's season. Propose or surprise your girl with this one. This one is perfect for the ladies. Okay. Keep your comments coming. As Trev said earlier, we've got treats, and it's all courtesy of Cars with Big Boy Trev. You can check this show when Trev is hosting, when he's up and about, when he's not stuck in the studio here. There's Cars with Big Boy Trev on KTN Home, and of course in the Nairobian on Friday.
Yes.
And if you missed any episode, you can check them out on YouTube. Am I correct?
Correct.
Fantastic. Mercedes-Benz versus BMW. Yogo Ongoma says, Monique, kindly ask Trev about the relationship between BMWs and flatbeds.
That is a misconception that people have about BMW brands. Perhaps maybe it's the owners who just don't want to tow the vehicle. They want to take it to the dealer without towing it and making it look rough. But I'm not saying that BMWs have not had their own issues in the past. They do. But once you take care of a BMW, the thrill, the enjoyment supersedes all the technical issues. I know someone who's very close to me, owned an E39 5 Series, and he loved the car to death, completely to death. You know, he'd get into a meeting and everybody would look with the angel eyes. You know, it's got presence. That's the word. It's got presence. But after a couple of times, you probably hear that, you know, the variable valve timing of Vano system is down, so you have to replace it, or the radiator and things like that. But those are issues that BMWs have, and people who've learned to be with the brand know how to deal with them.
Right.
So again, also it depends. Where do you take your BMW for service? There are quite a number of good people who know how to service BMWs, and you'd hardly get such issues. However, being a country where it's liberal, you see quite a number of people trying to handle BMW brands, yet they don't know how to technically understand what goes into the car. So you find people doing trial and error. Your car will be on a flatbed, quote unquote, etc. But if the people who love BMW and they know the issues that each car has, they would hardly have any issue at all. Hardly. Seldom. They love the thrill. They do anything. It's like a marriage. Unavumilia. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, BMW is a fantastic brand. Personally, if I was looking for a vehicle that just gives me the thrill, it's BMW.
It's a BMW.
Anytime.
All right. I'm seeing the team BMW just showed up on the timeline. I don't know where they came from. But I'm seeing another comment here. Dominic, you're saying you're listening in from Bondo, loving the conversation. Ayman Gishuhi, you're saying I personally drive the X5 M54 despite the myth of mechanical failures. On the contrary, the BMW is reliable in performance any day. George Njeru, you agree?
Yes, I do.
You think that's a fact. George Njeru says, for me, it's definitely the BMW because of its exquisite infotainment system and unraveled performance in terms of handling and torque.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Like I said, all the key tenets of BMW handles extremely well. You know that driver thrill is always there. The engagement, you don't feel disconnected with the vehicle. You feel like you're controlling the car. It's there. You love it.
Right.
You know, and even the sound system. BMW is one of the best sound systems in the business.
Right.
So from the 1 Series all the way to the X7,
right,
they have amazing sound system. Anybody who's owned a BMW would tell you the sound system, they do really put the effort in it because, you know, you spend quite a number of hours in a BMW. So they know how to make. They're called BMW business radios. On the higher spec ones, you probably find Harman Kardon kind of sound systems, which is like very high end. So they know how to make a good car. For the X5, again, sport utility vehicle. Again, performance, but in a higher setting. People love it because it's spacious, it's classy, it's premium. It's got that look and feel. In terms of building SUVs, BMWs have the upper hand.
Right.
As compared to Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz do have an SUV lineup and they're really trying to change, but their forte is in the passenger, the E-Class, the C-Class, the S-Class.
Right.
And then now you do have now the grandest of them all, the Mercedes-Benz Maybach. Maybach is like the cream of luxury, the pinnacle of BMW quality. I mean, Mercedes quality.
Right.
It's one of those things that you want in life.
I see you choosing a team so far. We started off when you were like, well, both of them. Anyway, I see Team BMW is filling up the timeline. Lots of traffic on there. Bizzo says BMW's anytime, sportiness and performance. Mark is too official for me. Ask Trev. Why does the Mercedes-Benz have a lower resale value? We've got a couple of minutes to wrap it up. And of course, it's going to be our final question. If you want to ask more, get on the hashtag Spice Drive. And don't forget, you can also follow Trevor Trey Sticks F1, the X, 2 X's, Trey Sticks F1, the resale value of the Mercedes-Benz.
I think it's a market-oriented issue. I don't think it's a global one. And I tend to disagree with that because if you look at currently, so for example, the C-Class and say the 3 Series, the C-Class will hold more value even after being used in the country than a BMW 3 Series. It's very easy. Again, also in as far as the older Mercedes-Benz, you probably get a 124, the old school 124 Mercedes-Benz fetching close to 500,000 bob, and that guy's probably 25 years old. So resale value, it's relative and it depends with the brand as well. So Mercedes still has a upper hand in as far as retaining resale value. But I normally tell people, listen, you're not buying a car to resell it. When you're buying a car, you're buying a car to give you the satisfaction. You're using it from point A to B. It's filling a gap in your life. So for me, resale value, unless you're a car dealer, it doesn't make sense. You're looking for refinement. You're looking for sportiness. You're looking for how does it fit in my life. And both brands, tick all your boxes.
Fantastic. Great chat right there. And the conversation is getting even better on the timeline. You can listen, you can watch, and you can plug in online. The hashtag is Spice Drive, the Mercedes-Benz or the BMW